Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to Ireland. And if you're in Ireland, you're welcome to my home. It's lovely to be back here this evening, and we're going to have the different evening that has no meditation this evening. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at cards. Now, and with that, the main focus will be on working with the colours of the rainbow. In other words, your aura. Hi, I'm not too sure how to pronounce your name. Luca, is it? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Hi, Sonia and Sandra and Helena. How are you all? So what we're doing this evening is we're going to go through how the vibration of energy that is us as a human being takes in so many aspects of our elements, because what we have here is we have physical body, we have then the emotional body, which is very much about how we feel about things and very much how we've been conditioned to feel, because that's where we're coming from. So when we go to a point then of looking to the future, we're carrying every experience that we've had in the past with us. And the key, I suppose, to learning to leave behind the past and not have the influence of it is to learn to accept it, learn to filter through it and see what was of value in the past to us, and give us the time to become aware of the power of now. Everyone's joining in very quickly today. We have Katrina, we have Alicia, Helena, and two Helenas there together. Sabrina, Naveen, and lovely to see you all joining in this evening. Now, the way I work with the colours, simplicity at its best. I don't know if you can see it very well, because with pens and markers and that, you don't really get a full what would you call it, picture of what it's like coming across with technology. It just doesn't have it that defined. But what the colours does for us, they give us energy. You've often heard me saying about when you go to the wardrobe, you pick a certain colour on that day, even though you bought all the clothes that's in the wardrobe. And that's the thing about it, that you actually have all of this on hand already, and you're already doing it, but it's to put it into perspective. Katrina, Marie, and Grazia, I think that's right. You should see me, I'm going along on the computer and putting in, looking for pronunciations. It's quite funny. And age is against me, of course. But anyway, Mariella, lovely to see you joining us again. Okay, so I suppose maybe we get the way I read is I use everything that I've ever worked through, like colour. I would also have done the dowsing. I would do the cards, my own cards with it. So it's a matter of looking at combining the whole lot to take the energy in. So this is how I work, and with it, it's very simplistic. I try not to make it any. Hi, Linda. I try not to make it any more complicated than it is, but that doesn't say. I tend to confuse Confucius at times. Enjoy yourself, Marie. You'll be able to watch it on playback anyway at some stage. So have a good weekend in Sligo. Okay, So we've had a few people who have written in, because earlier in the week, I think there was a notice sent out to give in the details for reading. So there has been a few has come in from that. So we'll start first of all by what do you see? Who have we here that is on this? John Luca. I think probably you were first up there on the screen. So we'll start off with you. Then I also did numerology. So when we look at numerology, it's very strong in this, because the numerology is also based on colour. Each number has its own vibration and colour. When your life path, and don't worry, I'm not giving away ages, because I think that's personal, and we don't need to give the actual age. But going on your date of birth, you're a 3, and with that 3, what you have is the colour vibration of that you are in is a yellow. So you'll find yourself drawn to yellow, and it's very, very vibrant colour, very much about the head, working with plans and all the time thinking about doing things, and it's using you calculate things. So it's very easy to kind of, if that many things in motion at the same time, you'll always find something that will please you and amuse you, to put it that way too. Your universal year, this is now where there may be a problem. You're also in the same universal year, and that happens. You're constantly in that, because you don't change with the year. A lot of people don't have the same universal year as the life path. So it means that the strength of the 3 is going to be quite dominant. So it's difficult to get the balance then, because balance comes with getting, I suppose, opposites. You know, there's the argumentative side of things, where it starts saying to you, well, I don't know whether that is right, or whether it would work differently with another approach. The decisions you're talking about, when you talk about decisions in relationships, you already know the answer, because when you're working, you will find that for some reason you're putting away the answer, and you're still trying to get an answer that suits your mind. Remember, your mind is very much created. It's not the genuine you. So when you go and when you start in a relationship to see what is happening, that tells you a lot. That tells you an awful lot, because what is going on there is the fact that you're not listening to what your heart is telling you. So decision time is here. You need to go with the decision that you're drawn to. And one of the, if it's any good, I would be a bit of a procrastinator as well in situations. And I'd get to the point where I'd say, okay, this is it. Done and dusted. I'm making a decision and I'm going with it. And it has always worked out. Now, this is up to you what you do. One of the things I would always say in card reading or doing anything that comes from the metaphysical world, don't let anyone ever tell you what to do. The decision has to come from you, because if it doesn't, number one, you'll blame whoever said this or told you to do that. But the other part is that you're living what is a falsehood, really. It's living in a situation where you're not happy, just allow yourself the space to actually feel that this is the right decision. And for life is full of good things to happen, regardless of what age we are. Life is never ever at a stage where you think I have to go a certain way or do. I don't. You can't see the writing, but I was just shuffling cards, and love is the card that came up there. So what I'd say to you is, love is the most important element of our being, but love of ourselves is that top rate. No point in we can't love someone if we don't love ourselves. It's just as simple as that, because we don't know what it is. If we don't feel that love, we can't share it with anyone, or we can't expect it from anyone, because we don't know what it is. So what I'd say to you is, work with it, and just let yourself be. And that's the easiest way of saying to you that the answer is there. Okay. Now, what do you see? Naveen, is Naveen here? As I say, we asked earlier in the week. Who have we here? Did I see? Yes, okay. Oh, and it's these things, and that's it. Done. I'll clap myself on the back for not cutting everyone off. Okay. Who was I saying? Naveen, was it I was saying? Oh, Alicia. Right. How are we here? Now. Life path of a 6, universal path of a 5. Indigo is your life path color. Mediumship. That what that says, you are 33, and a 33 is one of the master numbers, and it's one of the very high vibrations, and that's in itself that tells you that you've energy that's difficult to actually tap into. You've energy that's hard to know yourself, because your mind keeps changing all the time. Are you still able to hear me, Naveen? I just want to see. Are you able to hear me? If just someone puts up on the screen, because I was looking down, I don't know. Grant. I didn't want talking to myself and leaving you high and dry. Okay, I was just saying there's a life path of a 6. Now, you are a power number, a master number of 33, but you would find it extremely difficult to live in that vibration of energy. And this is why we will bring it down to the 6. I know you have the numerology sessions, shows on as well. But the colour of the 6 is indigo. And the indigo is about here in the third eye. So what you're doing here is you would find yourself, if you're not using that energy, if you're not developing the energy, you will have would feel like a headache or a numbness in that area. So like it's something that, as I say mediumship, but it's up to you. I'm telling you what's in your colour, where you are in the rainbow colour. So you just be aware of that energy. Your 6 is lovely too, about family, and it's about, you bring people together. You're very much in family orientated and wanting to be, I suppose, maybe pushing yourself too much. That's one of the situations that you'd find yourself in. And of course, being a Gemini, it's the Gemini energy is also about trying to be so many people within the one. So just mind yourself on that. You're already, as I said about the mediumship, you're living the moment. That's what your question that you've put forward. I don't actually read out the questions. I only give a kind of an insight into what the question is, because I think the questions are personal when it comes to readings. Just be aware that what you're doing now is the right thing to be doing. It's all good. It's all fine. So just be aware of how that it impacts on you, because it's about enlightenment. It's about every time you actually become aware of something that really gives you a sparkle. That's when it literally is time that you know you're doing what is right. You're doing what is right. So don't fret. All is well. The blue is for here. So you take the blue, but expression. That is between that and your third eye. The indigo is that deeper shade of blue, so it's very strong, and you're going to have, I would say, probably maybe the universal energy. The way you get the universal number up is by taking the date of the day you were born, the month, and then with the present year. So that keeps changing every year. So that's when it tells you that the time is right to do something, or the time it's closure time, or it's new beginnings. Whichever way, the universal year answers you. So that's how the universal year is got. Take the date of we'll say the 31st, or and then the month, and then go to the present year. Your life path is got by your whole date of birth, but your universal year is by the year that is present. So it's just allow yourself the privilege of experiencing what's happening for you now. That's what is wanted of you, and that's, it is as simple as that. Just allow yourself the freedom to experience life in this, we'll say, the physical world. The angels will look after you after that. Okay. Let's see. I'll knock the place down when I'm at it. Sonia. Sonia here. I'm really afraid to move this, because I'll end up cutting off again. Sonia. Hi, Sonia. Okay. Life path 11. That is a number that one of your it's one of the master numbers. When we look at the master numbers, the vibration of them is so different to the ordinary 1 to 9. With 11, you would find yourself with a nervous energy, and I mean, it's not knowing what's the right decision to make. How is it going to happen? It's like going into the energy at a deep level. Now, what you have is your universal year is 3. Okay, when your life path color is silver, which is very, very beautiful. It's outside of the rainbow colors. So it's within, well, I say outside, it was actually the core, one of the core, silver and gold, the core colors. Now, with your 3, you have your yellow. That doesn't help your silver, because if you think of the yellow and think of the silver, they're very light in color. Likewise, they're light in that energy, that vibration of energy. So just be aware that you need to keep your feet firmly on the ground. Be aware that when you're trying to make a decision that's important, like what you're and according to the Dowson, no, the answer is not this year. Now that's Dowson. But I just want to come back to something there. I don't do predictions because it's about healing and understanding yourself. That's the background to my work. I will ask the pendulum at times for an answer, but it's not. It's just the answer that's given. What I prefer to do is looking about understanding yourself, understanding who you are, and when you understand your own energy and your own spiritual journey, then other things doesn't really matter. They fade away. The strength fades away from them to a great extent. So just be aware that as I say, the pendulum would said it's not a personal message. You were asking when will you move, so that's the pendulum answer, and it doesn't make it easy when something doesn't give you the answer that you're looking for. But the silver and the yellow, as I say, you need to do things that grounds you. You need to be aware of the feeling that you're grounded, and that can do from walking out in the countryside, doing something that you really enjoy. That's feed for the soul, rather than just doing something for a pastime. It's something that actually works well for you, and you feel drawn to it. So that's what I'd say to you on that. Okay. Sandra. Is Rita here? Pardon me. Rita. Oh, I'm nearly afraid to touch this thing. Hi, Agatha. I missed you coming in there. Where do you send? Lovely, Sandra. Got you. And I didn't turn it off. Okay. Where are you here? Life path is a 9. Mother Teresa was a 9. You know, it's a vibration of energy that will look after the poor, look after the homeless, look after people that life hasn't been very kind to them. And to contrast on that, which is actually very good, is the universal energy of 6. So both of them, 6 is about family, but the 9 is about the universal family. So both are very, very complementary to each other. Now, your colour is gold with the 9. And it goes with the attributes of the 9. where and what you have then, and your universal color is the indigo. So the indigo, again, you're talking about mediumship. You're talking about developing the third eye. You'll find that there was a situation where you're able to go into the spiritual aspect of yourself very, very easily. That means so much for you, because you will have the times where you've been pulled away from it a little bit, and that's when you just need to say, okay, I'm going to ground myself. I know where I'm going. With situations that is on your question, my answer to that would be, one of the things, because particularly with the age that you are at present, I would say when that age passes, we're not letting anyone know your age, so don't worry. No, when I feel you just need a little time, because I feel there's a lot of pain there that hasn't been dealt with yet. So again, doing something that is, as I said in the last reading, food for the soul, helps to heal. It doesn't automatically disappear, but it's the healing aspect of it that actually gives you the strength to get on with things, and gradually then time changes the feeling to it. When I'm looking at your I just write out the names. It's very simple, not very mathematical. When I'm looking at your name, I feel there's a lot of change coming in fairly soon. So when I see that, it means that you just need to focus your energy for a while. Just allow yourself, because don't get too caught up in where what the question was. It will happen, but just at this moment in time, there's a lot of things to be looked after, and your indigo will direct you. Your indigo will be your third eye. It will direct you. As I say, the gold is very much you're in the middle of the energy. You're in the center point of it. Like if I show you the gold in on the chart, get it up there. It's just there in the very, very center. Just everything springs from it, and it goes out in all directions. So just be aware that there is change coming, and that will be, as time passes, it will become more obvious to you, and you will follow it. There's no problem. It will be the right road that you take. Gold very seldom would take the wrong road. Very, very seldom. If you went a road that you kind of question yourself why you went, there was a reason behind going. There was a reason behind going. And I need to draw a card for you, because that's something that's healing is the card that came up. Yeah, the healing is important, and that will happen. That will happen. Okay. Now, let's see. Sabrina Polo. I see Sabrina Polo somewhere here. I'm nearly sure I did. Sabrina Polo, if anybody's there. Am I missing? Here I am. Grand, Sabrina. how are you? All right. Your life path. The 7. And I always say the weird and wonderful 7. I can afford to say that because I'm a 7. But your colour is violet, and I feel you already know that because it's a colour that I think most 7s will actually be drawn to. Your universal is a 2, so what you have is the orange. Now the orange is going to be your savior, because it's going to keep you grounded. It's going to keep you in the I suppose the easiest way of saying it's going to keep you on the straight and narrow. The violet can let you, your mind can go off and not want to deal with the obvious. But when you have the orange, that's a lovely kind of energy that takes everything in. If you like violet, if you look at violet in the distance, it's very soothing and calm. If you look at orange, it'll meet you. So you see how the two can actually complement each other, so that you don't have to worry about am I on the right path. You'll be kept on it by it. Now another situation where I feel there's a need to take time. I just feel there's a need for time. But yeah, the answer is yes. But there's time needed. What is it? We're in June. 3 months is coming up. 3 months is a time coming up. And I'm just, my mind's going, when I look at the names, my mind starts, or my mind puts out and spirit draws in. But if you just, at the time, just allow yourself that little bit of time. It will happen very incidentally, not planned. So just allow yourself that time. And Kiara, and Kira, and we've had a good bit. Margaret, Florita. I did say hello to Agatha. Oh, I won't touch that screen because it's going to go off on me. So the answer is yes. It's something like the past. It's something coming up about the past in it. So we just see what. And just do a card. I don't want to look at the card standing out on its own. Patience. So there was a question asked, and I can't do it. What is it? Grasa, I think is your name. I can't do it because it's not to do with you. The energy, I don't go into someone else's energy. I can only do what, I can only go into your energy and work with it. So I'm sorry, Grasa. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Rita, is Rita here? Here we go. Chance it. When the people who have sent in the questions, when we've gone through, then we'll then look at who's around. Yes, she is. Okay, Rita. Lovely. Yeah, because I'd be afraid scrolling through a turn at... Rita, you have a life path of a 5, and you also have the universal 5. Now, you have the 5, you think of where the 5 is in 1 to 9 in numerology. You have the number that's right in the middle. So for you, it's very, and being a Libran as well, bless you trying to make a decision, because the 5s is the 2 ways. The Libran is about justice. It's very difficult to make a decision without feeling you're letting someone down. And but as I say, it is very difficult at times to go through that barrier and say, this is what I'm going to do. Like the Gemini plays around from one to the other, and eventually comes to the decision. Libran finds it even harder to come to that point in time. So one of the you have the blue. You're good at expressing yourself. You're good at being in a situation where you're able to say what you feel, and the other side of that is feel what you say. Don't waste energy on talking to people that is not paying any heed to you, because you have that strong blue. You need to use it wisely and not waste it on people that are dismissing what you're saying. Yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult situation, a difficult situation to overcome. You want to be in 2 places at the same time, but that's not happening at the minute. So give yourself the time. Again, a lot has happened in the past that you crossed bridges. You crossed bridges in the last 10 years, and when I look at what is appearing around your name, you did so well. You did so well in getting through all that you went through, and this is where now it's your time. Focus on you. This is when you're going to have a time to be just valuing yourself, because when you value yourself, you're going to be okay. Who else? You don't have to please anyone else when you value yourself. I feel in a lot of cases there's situations where there's a need to actually stand back and see who we are as a person, and that when we do that, we can see the miracle of our creation, and the miracle of being able to actually value this person. And it's so simple really, but so difficult for us to do it. And I feel sometimes that goes back to childhood, because we were used to being, in the past, the child was seen and not heard. So this has created a lot of problems in adult life, because we feel then we're not able to stand up for ourselves. We just fall back into that child role. So yeah, it is important to actually see what you can do for yourself. One of the for everyone, that's regardless whether you sent in a question or not, get into colours, working with colour. It can be getting a packet of crayons, colouring pencils, and start to work, just to do what you call the doodle pad, where you just create anything and nothing. That is actually far more healing than you would imagine, because I've actually done it in workshops, and you would be amazed afterwards with what comes up in it. So the healing is not something you have to go and pay money for. The healing can happen just by you putting out the intention that you want to actually get over what's happening at the moment, and allowing the past. Another way of doing it too is when there's a full moon. If you're drawn to the new moon, it's equally as powerful. Myself, I go for the full moon. To get a piece of paper and write down what you want, and I say what you want to achieve. Let it be to heal the past. Let it be looking for romance. Let it be. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just putting it on paper. And then what you do is you fold the paper into a triangle, that fold it in half and fold it in half again. And then if you have incense, that's the ideal thing to bless it. But then light, we'll say the closed corner where it's folded over. Light the corner of that and let it burn. And as it's burning, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Within that counting, have it that the numbers you're counting relates to either a week, a month. Very seldom you put in a year, but have it that way, and that will actually help to get you through different situations that's going on for you, and allow yourself to heal. So just as I say, simplicity is what it's about. Okay, is there anyone I left out? But I think I marked someone. Don't look at Loretta, Sabrina, the two Sabrinas, Rita, Naveen, Sonia, Sandra, and Gianluca. Okay, if that's everyone, right, let's do. Now again, what I'm going to do, I suppose, because it's hard to pick people from, I'm going to go to the last comment here, and I'm going to move 10 up, right? So whoever is the last comment, and I just hope I don't turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's Sabrina. Polo 7, 8, 9, 10. Fragrant rose. Okay, fragrant rose. You're 10. Right. So John. Okay, if you do you know your life path number, your universal number? If not, just give me your date of birth. That's fragrant rose. Hi, Angelo, Shanti. What we had, Angelo, we had questions being asked during the week. Were sent in during the week, and that's what we've been doing. And now it's just whoever, because there's a good few looking for a reading, and I'm just waiting on. What I did there was I went up 10 comments from the bottom. Is John there? I don't want wasting too much time. Okay, I'll just go on. What is he? Always waiting. Pass remarks to me. Says you're not. I made it. Mara de Roda. Okay, Mara de Roda. Can you give me your, either if you know your life path number, or you can give me your date of birth and we'll do a reading for you. Okay? I know there's a time lapse between what you by writing and and if anyone else is hoping to get, because we've time to do a few, just to do it to save time, and I call on you to do it. Okay, it's just time wise I don't like, and I need it. I can't work without it, so okay, Fragrant Rose, have you disappeared? Okay. That was 11, 12, 21, 26, 27, 9, 7, 11. That's who am I looking at? Rhoda, is it? Your surname, McRhoda, I think. Let me get it down here. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I just, okay, the life path is the 9, and the that's similar to a previous one I had, Sandra's. Life path is the 9, and the universal year is the 6. Now you're going to have that's really, it's about humanitarian. Your life path has that humanitarian number, that what you will do is you will look about the masses. Your energy is focused on people that are in need, people who are underprivileged, having to literally go and fight for anything that is in need. And I feel, as I haven't got your name because I lost it. Oh, Mara, it's Mara. Yeah, what I feel, Mara, is that this is something you've always done. You're not new to it, because it's very ingrained in you. Now your 6 is, again, it's about family, and it has that pull, because for some reason you have a stronger 6 than we had previous. There's a real strong pull, and it goes back in time. It goes back to generation back. So you have the blues. It's you have that indigo, that lovely third eye indigo. Use it and have it that you're going to have changes happening within that field. I don't know if you already work in mediumship, but definitely there's change. It's what it's doing is it's showing me different shades of blue as it's coming up. So just be aware that you need to pace yourself well, because you're the humanitarian and want to do everything for everyone. place you need to start is here in yourself, and look after yourself. Then everything else will fall into place. But just to give yourself the time and space to do that. Two very strong numbers coming in at both levels. But as I say, there is change, because what happens in the colours, as I read the colours, I don't know, maybe I'll do it a different way the next time, because I need to go into the colours and see what's happening with them. Are they shading? Are they moving? Are they creating a picture? So when we look at the colour, that tells when there's change, and that tells when it's going deeper. And if it's going deeper, where is that going to? So what I feel with this is that the change is happening, and it's happening sooner rather than later, and it's actually good. It will bring you a lot of peace, bring you a lot of contentment. Okay, thanking you, and we'll move on. We'll get another, might get another two. We'll get one in anyway. Right, who else? That's John. Someone else just puts up the, what do we say? No. Don't know where John disappeared to. If someone just puts up, because it'll just come up with one someone that wants reading, you just put it right in the birth date and it'll come up on the top, and we'll find out if you're anonymous or not. Okay. Who wrote that? Can you just put your name behind that? Can I tell? Because that's all I could see. To see, this is the problem. This is what happened last time. Was I went in to try and get the rest of the message, and I cut off. 4751. That I have done. I've done that one. What's the universal year? Okay, Alicia. The universal year is your the date of you were born. We'll say the 10th of the month, or the date, the month, and then the present year. So what you have then is 1 to 9 in the universal year. Okay, Mariella. What you have in the years, year 1 is good for starting things. It's about new beginnings. Year 2 is about sowing the seeds that for the future. It's looking at getting situations together. What you find, you're pulled maybe to work with someone. You have different options coming to you. Year 3 is the fruition of what your year 2. It brings it on forward a step. There's a continuity from one to the other. Year 4 then is the structures in place. Year 5 is about looking at what needs to be taken, need to we'll say, trim it, and allow yourself not to be pulled everywhere. Because if you think of the 5, it is one of those seesaw numbers where it's in the middle. You could go either way. but you need to actually, yeah, I do, Alicia. It's a 9-year cycle. And it's very important. Don't ever underestimate it, because what you do is in that, your life, if you look back, you will see the pattern of your life where it actually, it was significant and highlighted. So it has that ability to form itself. Energy is unexplainable. You will find that as time goes on, it will start to actually come together in its own way. It's not planned. The universe plans it, as I say, our guides and helpers plans it. So what we'll do now, we just need to bring it to an end, because we're coming up to the hour. I say 8 o'clock here, 9 o'clock in Italy. Yeah, I think I probably would do it a different way next time. I'll probably just do the colour, and we'll just maybe put names into a hat and have it. Your date of birth is 4/15, and 10 is 25, and 43, is that right? 7, 9, no, I'm wrong there. 4 and 11 is 15, I want 16, 25, 33, 41. Oh, you're in year 9 of, we just don't have the time now, because we're coming to the end of the show. I'd like to thank you. As I say, it was a bit fragmented, so we'll see what way we work it out. We do this on the last Friday of the month, and we're back to the norm next week. We're doing the talk, and then we're followed by the meditation at 7:30. So I'd like to thank you all, and for your patience and for your energy that you shared with us. Have a lovely weekend and enjoy. We have lovely sunshine here in Ireland, which is a change. Okay, bye.